Less than 20 miles from the Utah border on I-15, D5 materials engineer Nikolai Greer and D5 lab lead Scott McKenzie are completing the final steps of a unique project to stabilize the Devil Creek slide. The project began when operation personnel from the Malad Shed noticed a concerning change in the west slope of the northbound lane.
They sensed that there was some potential for a landslide, so we came out and did some drill for exploratory. Found there was water near the surface adjacent to the freeway, and our district engineer Todd Hubbard went to work with the board and got funding to put this project into work.
But what was it that the Malad Shed saw that gave them so much concern? Here is a view of the northbound lanes of I-15, and there on the left are willows growing in the median. Those willows indicate a year-round supply of water just beneath the surface. Alerted to the problem with the water, the crews began watching closely for other signs of trouble, and they found it. From this vantage point, it's not hard to see that the land has been slipping. Looking closer, we can see that the fence line is compromised. Based on past experience, District 6 knew the problem needed to be resolved sooner rather than later.
There was a failure in the 80s, about a mile north of here, and we didn't want the same thing to happen.
To resolve the problem, 2 drainage pads were built 250 feet apart at the base of the hill alongside a county road. Those drainage pads are where 37 wells were drilled between 250 and 500 feet into the hillside. As drilling progressed, samples were taken from each well and analyzed by an on-site geologist to determine what kind of matter lay under the hill. Using the samples, the team could determine where loose material ends and solid rock begins. That information guided the team's decision for each well's depth and its angle into the hillside. Once the wells were placed, the system began draining 3,500 gallons of water per hour. Now that the project is complete, it continues to drain 1,200 gallons per hour from its 37 wells. The project has got the attention of others throughout the region.
It's kind of a rare occurrence. It's high level in importance, but it doesn't happen very often. So we've had folks from different districts, even up into Coeur d'Alene and north, come down to look at it. It's a legacy project now. There'll be monitoring going on this for generations of years to come.
As with any project, there have been challenges.
We had problems with pumps freezing, drills were freezing up. We had our jetters came out to jet the wells. They froze up.
We had geologists freeze up.
Geologists freeze up, yep.
And that leads to what is probably the most important piece of advice for those who may face a similar project in the future.
Anybody else does this? Don't drill in the winter.